Good evening and welcome to African News Update on Top Accolade News. First, the headlines. Ivory Coast ex-Prime Minister plans return despite convictions. European Union calls for probe into Zaongo massacre. Ugandan army officers sacked for cowardice. Details coming up shortly. In politics, Ivory Coast ex-Prime Minister plans return despite convictions. Former Ivory Coast Prime Minister Guillaume Soro, who has been in self-imposed exile since 2019, has declared his intentions to return home. Despite facing 2 criminal convictions, Soro, a key figure in Ivorian politics, expressed the difficulty of living far from his ancestral land. He voiced his desire to contribute to the reconciliation of the country. Soro, once a close ally of President Alassane Ouattara, faced legal consequences in absentia with a life sentence for undermining national security and a 20-year term for embezzlement. Denying any wrongdoing, Soro recently revealed an attempted arrest in Turkey, further complicating his potential return. The former rebel leader, who played a crucial role in the 2010 post-election crisis, aims to participate in the 2025 presidential elections after a setback in 2020 due to a constitutional court ruling. Regarding security, European Union calls for probe into Zaongo massacre. The European Union is calling for an urgent investigation into the Zaongo massacre in Burkina Faso. Foreign Policy Chief JosepBorrell states that around 100 civilians, including women and children, are believed to have been killed in this horrific event earlier this week. The United States has also condemned the attack, and the village of Zaongo, targeted on 6 November, saw a brutal assault, and it remains unclear who is responsible. Burkina Faso, grappling with the jihadist insurgency that spread from Mali, is under military rule, forcing civilians to join the fight against Islamist groups, controlling nearly 40% of the country. The European Union and the international community are pressing for transparency from Burkina Faso's military junta to shed light on the circumstances surrounding this tragic death. The nation, experiencing a surge in violence, has witnessed the closure of a quarter of its schools due to the insurgency, affecting countless lives. Still on security, Ugandan army officers sacked for cowardice. A Ugandan military court has delivered a verdict on 2 officers found guilty of cowardice during an Al-Shabaab attack on the African Union base in Bulo Massa, Somalia. Majors Zadok Abo and John Oluka, warned in advance of the impending assault, fled the base as Al-Shabaab militants stormed in, resulting in the tragic loss of at least 50 Ugandan soldiers. Uganda, part of the African Union force combating Al-Shabaab in Somalia, faces criticism from President Yoweri Museveni for the military's response. The court's decision sees both officers dismissed from the army. This incident highlights the ongoing challenges faced by the African Union force in Somalia, where a new offensive against Al-Shabaab has encountered difficulties, leaving many rural areas still under the group's control. The 19,000-strong African Union force deployed in 2007 is scheduled to transfer security responsibilities in Somalia's government forces next year. You are watching the news on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. On religious matters, Kenya court pastor found guilty over illegal film studio operation. A Kenyan court pastor, Paul Mackenzie, faces legal consequences as he is found guilty of operating an illegal film studio and distributing films without a valid license. While not formally charged in relation to the death of over 400 alleged followers, Mackenzie's conviction sheds light on his activities. The coastal town of Malinda's court convicted him of the film-related charges, potentially leading to imprisonment of up to 5 years or a fine. However, the court acquitted him of the offense of inciting children against attending school. Mackenzie's arrest in April followed the shocking discovery of bodies in shallow graves in the Kenyan forest earlier this year, sending shockwaves through the nation. Sentencing for Mackenzie has been scheduled for next month, marking a significant development in this ongoing case. In sports, Ghana striker dies at 28 after on-pitch collapse. Ghanaian striker Raphael Dwamena, who tragically passed away at the age of 28. Dwamena collapsed on the pitch during a league match in Albania while playing for Ignatia against Partizani. Despite immediate intervention by specialist doctors, his life could not be saved. Dwamena, the top scorer in the Albanian league with 9 goals this season, has also represented Ghana with pride, earning 9 caps and scoring 2 goals. The Albanian Football Federation has postponed all games scheduled for this week as a mark of respect. Dwamena's untimely death has sent shockwaves through the football community, with condolences pouring in from the Ghana Football Association and clubs he played for, including Levante and Real Zaragoza. That concludes today's African News Update for today. Stay tuned for more updates and other stories from across the continent. Thanks for joining us. I am Jonathan Powe. Stay informed and stay connected with us on all our social media handles. Do have a wonderful day.